Hello, here we are at the Indigenous March in DC 2019, and I'm going to do random 5 questions with Chase Iron Eyes. And here we go.
How you doing? Anyway, thank you for doing this. I've been following brother here. He tagged me one time on one of his 5 random questions, and I thought it was a great idea. So I just happened, this is the first time I'm meeting him, first time I'm ever seeing him, first time talking to him. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Iron Eyes. We're here in DC talking about issues about missing Indigenous women, to pipelines, to stolen land. What is your take on this rally and how it should affect our Indigenous people?
You know, I'm just so thankful to the organizers. There's a lot of organization that takes place when these things happen. Not all of us are out there sharing our songs or speaking, sharing our gifts. There's a lot of people who are behind the scenes making it happen. So they create the platform for Indigenous nations who are still here, who have survived genocide, whose Holocaust is denied. They created an opportunity for us to share our truths. And as the original civilizers of this hemisphere, whose voice, whose metaphysics, whose epistemology, and a whole lot of other ologies have been denied to us and devalued. We've been dehumanized for so long. We've been told that we're savage, that we're primitive, that we're uncivilized. We're just now beginning to wake up because of the sacrifices of the previous generations. They gave their blood so we could be a free generation. We are now able to stand in our original dignity, our original thought processes, our ceremonies, wowaka, whatever that is for you. Go back to it, return to it, because it's the truth, and we can evolve, we can adapt, and we can incorporate all of the ologies from their world. We don't have to be subsumed by it. So for me, that's the 30,000 foot view of what the Indigenous Peoples March is about, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
All right. Question number 2 would be, just hearing your daughter speak, you must be proud. And to be an activist and to follow in somewhat your footsteps to the issues that are concerning our people today, how does it feel to have a daughter to be proud of in such a way?
Well, she's proof, we're proof, you're proof of a living legacy. There's still a deliberate program in place calculated to bring about our extinction. They are contemplating our genocide because we are walking, talking challenges to the legitimacy of this entire country. Any settler colonial state doesn't want to see the original civilizers walking around deconstructing their program that tried to remove us. So to see Tokata, I realized when she was 11 years old that I need to get out of Tokata's way. Native women are extremely powerful, and they are the ones bringing this message. They are the ones that are shouting so loud and so clear that missing and murdered Indigenous women is now part of our lexicon. It's something that is making its way to the halls of Congress, something that is making its way to the Parliament or the House of Commons in Canada. You know, we can take our causes all across the globe, and people are listening to us right now. The time is now. Even with the new women elected to Congress, Tokata, my daughter, is a part of that legacy. She was able to see those people who came to Standing Rock create this energy that she helped with. She carried some of those first ceremonial tasks in raising awareness about Standing Rock. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came to Standing Rock. Sharice Davids, Deb Haaland came to Standing Rock. And that energy, that was a calling. We answered a calling to the water. So our young people are proof that we are part of a living legacy. 1,000,000 years back and 1,000,000 years into the future. There is no time. We have to liberate ourselves from some of these constructs that seek to control us, seek to determine how we interpret the universe, how we perceive things. Tokata is part of that legacy, and I couldn't be more honored to walk with her.
Question number 3 would be, to our warriors that can't make it today, who are fighting the front lines across Indigenous lands, through Canada and the rest of the world, what would your message be to them today?
It's so expensive to come to DC. Like if I didn't have a place to stay, I would not have made it out here. I come from a place where treaty leaders would go around with commodities and rations in the trunk of their cars with ring of red and a loaf of bread, you know what I'm saying, eating camp food. So we have brothers and sisters who are still struggling right now. They're on the front line. They can't be here because they're putting their bodies in harm's way. At Line 3, at Unistoten Camp that was just raided, No Bayou Bridge, the tail end of the Dakota Access Pipeline, and everybody out there who's paying attention, the Keystone XL Pipeline, they're threatening us again to put a gun to our heads and threaten our children's right to clean drinking water. They're trying to bring the Keystone XL Pipeline through Sioux Nation territory. So we will need your help again. The resistance never ends. All I can do to honor that is to try to bring the spotlight back to the front line. I know what that's like to be out there. I know what it's like to have been forgotten. After Standing Rock, a lot of the limelight went away from the front line. Whatever we can do to get Ashley Calling Bull, the National Congress of American Indians, everybody from every spectrum. Indigenous resistance spans a wide spectrum from Leonard Peltier to Jefferson Keel and Lance Gums and the NCAI, the AFN and the Treaty Defenders. We're all part of the same struggle. So keep going, never get weary, never give up, and keep strong.
Awesome. My fourth question would be, you talk to Leonard Peltier on a weekly basis. What are some of his concerns being where he is, and how is he helping our indigenous people with his voice?
Leonard Peltier is a testament to our unconquerable dignity, our undying hope. He has kept the dream alive inside the walls of a prison. It weighs heavy on his spirit. He talks to us every single week. He wanted to send a message to the marchers to keep going, to stay strong. He watches everything that happens. He stays connected to everything we're doing out here. So the least we can do is try to advocate for him. We can't forget about our political prisoners, because being born indigenous is an act of resistance. We inherit a struggle that's 500 years old. Whether we want it or not, whether we have a choice or not, whether we want to ignore it for a certain period of time, we are on a path to liberation. Imposed dependency and poverty, heartbreaking, cruel poverty and active violence is not a natural state for us. We are trying to, and we will liberate from that. Freedom will be ours, just like it will be Leonard Peltier's. I do not want to see our uncle, our brother, our grandfather transition to his next journey inside the walls of his oppressors' prisons. That cannot happen.
Oh, and my fifth and final question is usually pertaining to our youth. How would you get our youth riled up to get involved with all the issues of our indigenous people across the world?
We have to teach our youth the truth. We can't lie to our youth. We have to let them know that they are born into a struggle. They need to hear the drum. They need to hear our sacred gifts, be exposed to our sacred gifts. As indigenous nations, we still have those connections. The spirits still come to the ceremonies. So the youth need to be a part of that. And on their own, they will liberate themselves. And we will just have to get out of their way. We'll just have to try to guide them the best that we can. You know, we suffered a lot. We survived a genocide. Look at the residential schools. Look at the boarding schools. They took our ability to parent away. They stole our language. They stole the way that we color our universe, the way we perceive our reality was changed. There's an alien software operating system in my brain right now, and I'm using it to the best of my ability to express our truths. But the truth is that we are original. We are older than time. Our blood is divine. Our flesh will return to its source. Our bones will return to their source one day. And we need to empower our youth. They need to recognize now that we need them. They're leaders right now. The youth aren't the leaders of the future. They're leading right now. And we're part of the same generation. We just have to try to empower them. Do that to the best of our ability. And sometimes that means that we have to face prison. Sometimes that means we have to give our lives. My dad, all over the prior generations, they gave their lives so we could be here speaking our truths, so we could have religious freedom. so we could have the Indian Self-Determination Education Assistance Act, the Indian Child Welfare Act. That didn't come out of the goodness of the hearts of our colonizers. That came because we offered our blood. We risked our freedoms for that. And our young people need to know they come from that. That's the truth. They are strong in their original dignity, their spiritual dignity, and they are able now to incorporate the same institutions that tried to wipe them out. We can take what's good for them, we can absorb it, we can incorporate it, we can deconstruct it. We don't have to be assimilated by it. And that's the most powerful thing that our young people have. We need to continue that.
Thank you. There you have it. Chase Iron Eyes here in Washington, D.C. Some powerful words from a powerful leader. I hope.
Thank you, brother.
Good one.